All right, hello and a very good evening to you from wherever you're joining us. From 1 minute past the top of the hour, you are just right in time for KUTV Weekend Live, coming to you live from Kenyatta University Television Studios for the next 30 or so minutes of this informative broadcast. Well, this informative broadcast begins right now with an introduction.
This is Weekend Live with Theo Macharia.
And that's in order. Remember, we'd love to hear your comments, your feedback, or your suggestions across our social media platforms, where this broadcast is coming to you live on our YouTube platform, that is at KUTV News Kenya, or even on X at KUTV_Kenya, or even interact with me on my personal social media handles, that is at Theo_Macharia. On the sign language interpretation desk, we have Lucy Kiarie, and together let's bring you up pace and candid with the latest making headlines in the country and even beyond in the world of news. We begin. Now, Modern Coast Bus Company has confirmed that one of its vehicles traveling from Nairobi to Kampala with 23 passengers indeed caught fire near the Gilgil Weighbridge on the Naivasha-Nakuru Highway on Saturday at around 9:40 a.m. Now, in a statement to newsrooms in the evening, the company, however, assured that there were no casualties as all passengers on board the bus at the time of the incident were safely evacuated, although they were unable to salvage their belongings. While noting that it is still looking into the cause of the fire, the Modern Coast management added that another bus was swiftly dispatched to pick up the passengers from the scene and drop them off their respective destinations as planned. The incident has caused reactions among Kenyans who have expressed their worry for the increasing number of accidents in the country, with others demanding that the National Transport and Safety Authority (NTSA) to inspect all vehicles and prioritize the safety of Kenyans. President William Ruto has called on leaders from the region to back ODM leader Raila Odinga's bid to become Africa Union Commission AUC chairperson. Now, Ruto drummed up support for the former premier during the East Africa Community Interparliamentary Games that he launched in Mombasa, asserting him as a formidable candidate with far-reaching experience for the task.
A race signaled the beginning of the East Africa Community Interparliamentary Games in Mombasa County, as legislators from the region took on President William Ruto on the track for a session of Who's Faster Now. Adorned in sports gear, the legislators made a colorful representative pattern of the region, eager to sweat it out outside the house, following the regulations of the various sporting activities they will be involved in, hosted in the coastal city.
And the president takes the first position!
With attention to the audience at hand, President Ruto took to pushing for ODM leader Raila Odinga's quest of becoming the next chair of the African Union Commission, terming him as competent to steer the continental body with attention to all what Africans desire.
I want to ask all of us, because we have an opportunity as East Africans to produce the leadership of the Africa Union. This time round, it is the opportunity for East Africa to produce the chair of the Africa Union.
Raila has been on a cross-the-continent run, engaging African heads of state to rally support for his bid. President Ruto has continued to boldly endorse the veteran opposition leader candidacy, having deployed state resources to ensure he secures the chairperson seat.
In our midst, we have a solid candidate, a man with tremendous experience, a Pan-Africanist who can take this continent to the next level. I ask you as East Africans that we stand united behind the candidature of our former Prime Minister, the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, so that he can provide the leadership of this continent that is so much desirous to take our continent to the next level.
Raila will have to face off with his fellow aspirants Anil Gayan of Mauritius, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf of Djibouti, and Richard Randri Amandrato of Madagascar before the vote in February 2025, and also in a debate this Wednesday, the 11th of December 2024, that will be streamed live across the continent.
And therefore, if Africa is going to be united, if Africa is going to play its rightful place, if the Africa Continental Free Trade Area is going to be a reality that connects business and enterprise and encourages trade and investment in goods and services, the engine will be in East Africa. And therefore, whatever we do here, we must know that it is a reflection of what Africa is waiting for.
President Ruto further revealed various projects that are being conducted collaboratively in the region to stimulate business and foster integration within the region. The 14th edition of the Inter-Parliamentary Sports Games aimed at deepening, strengthening and expanding engagement within the EAC and will continue to the 18th of December. Emmanuel Kutosi, KUTV.
All right, many thanks, Emmanuel Kutosi, for that comprehensive report. And now let's move on, where Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has reaffirmed Kenya's commitment to fostering strong relations with Finland in ways that will benefit both nations. Mudavadi made these remarks during Finland's National Day celebrations held at the Finnish Embassy in Kenya. His sentiments were echoed by Finland's Ambassador Pirkka Tapiola, who highlighted 6 decades of flourishing bilateral relations. Take a look.
Permit me to underscore Finland's contribution to our regional peace and security efforts, particularly in enhancing stability and democratic processes in the Horn of Africa and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Last but not least, let me congratulate Ambassador Pirkka Tapiola and his team for putting together a colorful ceremony for the dedication to strengthening diplomatic ties between Kenya and Finland. Your Excellency, we look forward to taking the efforts to a higher pedestal. I wish to reiterate Kenya's commitment to strengthening the bonds of friendship between Kenya and Finland and further broaden areas of our partnership for the mutual benefit of our two countries.
When I arrived in Nairobi in August 2021, my marching orders were clear. We had a new Africa strategy, and I was told, time to move away from a sort of donor-recipient relationship, and we've talked about this with Your Excellency a lot, to an equal partnership between our nations, between two strong countries, between two strong nations. And shared goals and values have been at the heart of this work. Kenya is a well-established African democracy. She has consistently been a like-minded partner in defense of the rules-based multilateral order. And this has been seen also in Kenya's principled stance on Russia's war in Ukraine. And this stance is and continues to be highly appreciated. And we wish to deepen this partnership further, both bilaterally and at the EU level.
And the national government has initiated a program to support young agripreneurs in the agricultural sector. Speaking in Embu County during the official launch of 140 agripreneurs as part of the initiative, Agriculture and Livestock Development Cabinet Secretary Dr. Andrew Mwehia Karanja stated that these youths are expected to drive significant transformation in the agriculture sector by working directly with grassroots farmers.
In a bid to revolutionize the agricultural sector, the government has launched a program to support young agripreneurs in Embu County. On Friday, Dr. Andrew Muhia Karanja, the Agriculture and Livestock Development Cabinet Secretary, commissioned 150 young agripreneurs as part of this initiative. During the event, he highlighted that the program aims to create employment opportunities for the youth while boosting agricultural production in rural areas. During the commissioning ceremony at St. Luke's School for the Deaf in Mbeere South Sub-County, Dr. Karanja noted that the agripreneurs are expected to transform farming, having direct contact with the farmers at the grassroots level.
Kwa hivyo serikali kuu na kaunti wanajumuika pamoja kusema ya kwamba wakulima wanahitaji huduma, wapewe mawaidha, wapewe mambo mengine ya vile wakaimarisha biashara zao za kilimo, lakini lazima wawe na watu ambao wanashikilia.
According to Dr. Karanja, this initiative aligns with the government's strategic vision to promote agribusiness as one of the prime drivers of economic development and youth empowerment. He further announced their plans for expanding the initiative nationally, targeting more rural areas and scaling its impact.
Kwa kila ward hapa takuwa na watu 7. Hawa ni 140, watakuwa na watu 7 kwa kila ward. Na ni Kenya mzima. Hii ni mpango ambao tumeanzisha ili tukijumuisha na counties tuimarishe mambo ya huduma kwa wakulima wetu.
On her part, the Embu County Governor Cecily Mbarire welcomed the initiative, promising to support the agripreneurs by equipping them with the requisite skills and resources to assist farmers in boosting production.
Tunaanza nursery zetu. Katika every sub-county we want to have a nursery ambao tutapanda all those fruit trees. Tuweze kupatia wakulima. Pia tulete kwa kina mama, group za kina mama, wa vijana, wapande tuwanunulie, ndio tuweze kufikisha ile kiwango tunataka ya macadamia, ya avocado, ya mango. Ndio tuweze kuwa na hiyo value addition kule mashamba.
And Kenyans have been urged to cultivate a consistent reading culture and embrace lifelong learning to broaden their minds and enhance their knowledge. This call was made by Dr. Esther Wanjiro Mushemi, CEO of Samchi Group of Companies, during her Springs of Water book launch in Nairobi. Her sentiments were echoed by the Secretary to the Cabinet of Kenya, Mrs. Mercy Wanjao, who also reaffirmed the government's commitment to supporting local talent. She urged Kenyans to embrace and support the nation's literature by reading books authored by Kenyan writers. And social organizations have raised concerns over the numerous cases of gender-based violence that need to be addressed by both county and national government offices to secure the rights of widows and other vulnerable individuals in the society. Speaking at an event in Ukwala, Ugenya Sub-County, marking the 30th anniversary of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, Siaya Muungano Network Program Officer Hilary Omondi stated that violations of widows' rights remain rampant in the county despite continued efforts by CSOS and other stakeholders to strengthen advocacy campaigns against them.
And as much as we have continued to strengthen our campaigns and our advocacy and also just mobilizing community members and even leaders to address widows' rights violation, but we are still realizing that there are some gaps. And looking at the situation, we are seeing that first of all, our local leaders, starting from our community resource persons like the officers who are in charge of law enforcement, they are not taking so much key enforcement towards addressing widows issues.
Because sometimes you might go to the garden while you are working in your garden. Your brother-in-law will just come and tell you, "I don't want you to dig here. You did not come with the land from your home. Leave this land because this land was my brother and your name is not here."
The situation is not changing much. although in the areas that we work in, there tends to be reduced cases because we are ever on the ground. But in places where we are not working or there are no NGOs or CSOs that are working, the cases are quite high.
Wajane walikuwa wanasumbuliwa sana. Hata sahi kuna wengine bado wako na hizo mila wanasumbua wajane. Unapata mjane maybe alikuwa town, mwanaume amekufa, amerudishwa nyumbani. Unapata mashemeji wanang'ang'ana kuchukua vitu za mjane. Na hizo vitu walitengeneza kama wako wawili. Ilikuwa ni mwanaume na mke. Mwanaume akikufa vitu zimebaki huwa ni ya mwanamke. Mwanamke akikufa vitu zimebaki huwa ni ya mwanaume. Unapata wanaingilia, wanachukua, wanaenda nazo.
Alright, and 9:15, time for us to take our first short commercial break right here on KUTV Weekend Live. Coming on the other side are more top stories. Keep it KUTV, keep the conversation going across our social media platforms. YouTube at KUTV News Kenya, X at KUTV_Kenya, or even at Theo_Macharia. See you on the other side.
Kenyatta University will hold its 56th graduation ceremony on Friday, 13th December 2024 at the main campus along the Thika Superhighway. KUTV will provide live coverage of the graduation ceremony from 8 a.m. The ceremony will also be streamed live on KUTV and KU website, Lola app and all KU social media platforms. For more information, please contact the Office of the Registrar Academic on 020-870-3092 or 0786-335111 or visit the KU website on www.ku.ac.ke. The theme for the 56th graduation ceremony is Research and Quality Education in Transforming Lives.
Watching Weekend Live with Theo Macharia.
Alright, welcome back, and once again many thanks for trusting KUTV Weekend Live to bring you up to speed with the latest news making headlines. And now we continue with some exciting news where KUTV digital journalist Dorothy Musyoka tied the knot today with the love of her life, Richard Kamau, in a colorful ceremony held at the Full Gospel Church of Kenya, Berea, located along Kangundo Road. Our reporter, Blue Smile Hassan, attended the auspicious ceremony and filed the following report.
The wedding of KUTV journalist Dorothy Musyoka took place at the Full Gospel Church of Kenya, situated along Kangundo Road in Machakos County. Dorothy took her wedding vows joyfully, accepting Richard Kamau as her husband and life partner.
Richard Kamau, I submit myself to you.
Amen, amen. In contrast to the usual practice where the priest reads the wedding vows, the priest allowed the couple to confess their love for one another as vows.
The church, when he died for her, and to love you as a part of myself, because in his sight we shall be one. I love you.
Amen, amen. KUTV journalists also attended Dorothy's wedding, wishing her the best as she commenced her new journey.
Mwanzo nafurahia sana kwa sababu tumefanya kazi na Dorothy kwa muda mrefu sana na amekuwa ni nguzo kubwa sana kituo cha KUTV, na tumefanya kazi naye kwa miaka kadhaa. Tangu alipokuja kwenye kituo alinipata, nikaweza kuwa mmoja wa wale ambao amewapata, na tumefanya kazi vizuri kwa pamoja. Amekuwa ripota moja mahiri, mwanahabari ambaye ni shupavu kabisa, na akaweza kuelekea upande wa digital na marketing, kitengo cha digital ambacho ameweza kufanya kazi nzuri sana. Na leo ni kumtakia kila laheri, maana harusi ya mwisho ilikuwa hapa KUTV, ilikuwa ni yangu miaka mitatu sasa imepita. Sasa ni siku yake pamoja na mume wake Richard Kamau. Tunatakia kila laheri, wapate kuwa na maisha mazuri hapo mbele, na Mungu akawajalie vitu vingi, watoto wazuri, mali nyingi na baraka na fanaka katika maisha.
Dorothy Musyoka, I'm so happy for you. Dorothy is my colleague pale digital. She's my assistant pale digital sales and marketing KUTV. Congratulations, I'm so happy for you.
A majority of the entire KUTV has also gone all out for Dorothy today on her special occasion, as she gets to tie the knot with the love of her life, that is Richard. And myself and also other members of the Kenyatta University Television, we wish Dorothy a happy marriage, and we wish to see her blossom and even become more better, and even to the best version of herself in this new journey. So to you, Dorothy, congratulations, and also to you, Richard, we wish you a happy, blessed family.
As Dorothy and Richard embark on this significant milestone in their life journey, the couple is surrounded by unwavering love and support from the family, relatives and friends, as witnessed during today's celebration. Blue Smile Hassan, KUTV, Kangundo Road, Machakos County.
All right, congratulations to the newest couple in town from here, from KUTV. That is Mr. and Mrs. Richard Kamau. Let's now proceed where Narok Governor Patrick Olen Tutu has emphasized the importance of collaboration among leaders in the provision of education scholarships to ensure that all efforts reach those in need. Tutu made these remarks during a bursary distribution event for 1,600 students in the county, which involved other county leaders like Women's Representative Rebecca Tonkei, Narok South Member of Parliament Kitilai Olen Tutu, and Emurua Dikir Member of Parliament Johanna Ngeno.
Mimi nimepea watoto 70,000 beneficiaries. Nimeambia ndawapea list, niko na wabunge 6. Nitawapea list ya wale watoto ambao nimewapea. Tafadhali wabunge, hawa ambao mimi nimewapea, msiwape tena basari. Mwende mtafute watoto wengine, kwa sababu ni wengi, muwape hawa basari. Ndio tusifanye double allocation. Watu wengi wanaumia kwa sababu mtu mmoja anaenda kwa mbunge, anaenda kwa governor, anaenda kwa women rep, anaenda kwa MCA. Hapana. Sisi
wabunge wa county assembly wamefanya kazi ya maana kutambua wale watoto vijijini wakiketi chini ya mti na kusikizana na watu wa hiyo kijiji kwamba huyu mtoto ndiye anastahili kupata hiyo basari. Your Excellency, hiyo kazi tunataka kushukuru kwa sababu kumekuwa na uwazi wa kazi ya basaris katika Narok County.
Kitu wananchi wanaifeel kushinda kila kitu. Unajua saa zingine hata mimi wakati nilikuwa najenga mashule, mabarabara, saa zingine nikifika kwa raia wananiambia wewe umenijengea shule, yes, iko sawa. Umeniwekea barabara, yes, iko sawa. Lakini mtoto yangu wako nyumbani.
Hizi miaka 3 ambayo mimi mmenichagua kama gavana wenyu, tumepeana 1.2 billion shilling kwa bursaries. Ina maana kwamba tumepeana pesa 1.2 billion shilling. Na hao watoto ambao mnaona hapa ni watoto 300 ambao wanapatanga full scholarship, wanalipwa kutoka form 1 mpaka form 4. Hao watoto ni watoto 1600. Na tumeangalia sana tukiangalia wale ambao wanafanya vizuri sana kwa shule. Wakati mwingi ni wale watoto ambayo wanatoka jamii ambayo hawajiwezi.
And the human rights group Amnesty International has accused Israel of committing acts of genocide against the Palestinian people in Gaza, the first time the organization has leveled such an accusation during an active conflict. Israel strongly rejects the claim, as Henry Ridgwell of Voice of America reports.
Over 44,000 Palestinians have been killed in 14 months of fighting in Gaza, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. The figure includes militants, but Hamas says the majority of the dead are civilians, including more than 13,000 children. Israeli attacks have leveled entire neighborhoods. The United Nations says 1.9 million people in Gaza, 90% of the population, have been forced to flee their homes. Aid agencies warn Palestinians in northern Gaza are on the brink of starvation. In a report published Thursday, Amnesty International said Israel's actions amount to genocide.
These crimes were and continue to be deliberate actions, deliberately calculated to bring about the destruction of Palestinians in Gaza. They have also been perpetrated with total impunity. The conclusion that Israel is committing genocide is unequivocal, evidence-based.
Amnesty also cited the language used by some Israeli officials, such as the National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, who called for Gaza to be crushed.
We found statements calling for genocidal act and other crimes under international law. We verified videos of soldiers replicating those narratives, calling for the erasure of Gaza or to make it uninhabitable.
Israel strongly denies committing genocide and said the Amnesty report is entirely false and based on lies. The Israeli military says Hamas fighters hide in schools and hospitals, using civilians as human shields. The claims are difficult to verify, as Israel does not allow foreign journalists into Gaza. Israel also accuses Hamas of carrying out a genocidal massacre in its cross-border attack on October 7th last year, which killed more than 1,200 people. More than 240 people were taken hostage. The Israeli government maintains it is acting in self-defense within international law.
We will never waver in our determination to defend our people, protect our future, and bring all of our hostages back home.
Will Amnesty's report have any impact on the war in Gaza?
There are two centers of gravity for this war in Israel, for the Israelis. One is the US government and the support of the US government. The other one is domestic public opinion and the pressure on the government to do one or the other in Gaza. I think this report will have no impact on either of these centers of gravity.
Amnesty cautioned that Israel's allies, including the United States, could be complicit in the alleged genocide and urged them to stop supplying weapons. Henry Ridgwell, VOA News.
All right, and that story, courtesy of VOA, brings us to our second short commercial break right here on KUTV Weekend Live. Coming on the other side, our sports stories. Keep it KUTV, don't go too far.
Kenyatta University will hold its 56th graduation
Right, welcome back, and now let's get sporty, where Hussein Mohamed is the new Football Kenya Federation President-elect. The Murang'a Seal Vice President garnered 67 votes in the second round of FKF elections held today at Kasarani Gymnasium. In the first round, Hussein Mohamed garnered 42 votes, followed by Petra, who had 31, while the immediate former FKF CEO got 10 votes. Kakamega Homeboys chairman, the incumbent Vice President Doris Petra, and former FKF CEO Barry Otieno conceded defeat after first round to hand Hussein Mohamed a landslide victory. Right, congratulations to Hussein Mohamed. And the Sports Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has named the multi-agency team to oversee CHAN and Africa Cup of Nations preparations. Now, veteran football administrator Nicholas Musonye will chair the multi-agency team that includes sports journalist Elias Makori, former Harambee Stars coach Jacob Ghost Mulei, and former Harambee Starlets player Terry Ouko, among others. The committee is tasked with the responsibility of developing a comprehensive roadmap for CHAN and AFCON 2027 preparations. Uganda's Lois Chepkemoi and Samuel Chebole were on Saturday crowned the winners of the 2024 edition of the Great Chepsaita Cross Country Run held in Uasin Gishu County that attracted over 10,000 athletes. Now, this year's edition, themed Run for Education, is aimed at not only nurturing young talents but also raising funds to sponsor the education of more than 100 needy students from the area. Chepsaita is one of the most challenging courses due to the 2 kilometers loop deep terrain intertwined by artificial water body and the natural hills, earning it the gold status. Kindiki, who was among other several key government officials, CSs, PSs and political leaders, hailed the efforts of the race patron Farouk Kibet for spearheading the race, now in its second edition. Alright, and at this juncture, we've come to the end or to a close of KUTV Weekend Live tonight, the 7th day of December 2024. I hope you are adequately informed or brought up to speed with the latest stories making headlines in the country. Now, it is 6 days to Kenyatta University's 56th graduation ceremony. Congratulations in advance to the graduates awaiting in their big numbers, hundreds or even thousands. It's 6 days to their grand day, and now we want to say congratulations in advance as they get to be vested the power to read on Friday at the graduation square. Many thanks once again for choosing KUTV Weekend Live to inform you tonight. Looking forward to seeing you again next Saturday. This broadcast will not be a success without men and women behind the scenes, led by my director Kimani James Baraka, or I call him the man in my ears. And even on the graphics was Eric Mshila, and on the sound playout was none other than Ismail Akunda. Now, until next Saturday, we do the same time, same place. On the sign language interpretation was Lucy Kiarie, and my name is Theo Macharia. Once again, many thanks for choosing and trusting KUTV to bring you up to speed with the latest news making headlines. Until then, good night, God bless.